Witnessing her beloved grandmother shot dead, the granddaughter instantly devised 100 ways to kill the murderer. Yet what she never anticipated was that with the man's heavy blow, Sayang, who had collapsed to the ground, lost consciousness and fell into a coma. Yet this depraved act would exact the most devastating toll on all involved. Upon discovering Sayang had stopped breathing, the criminals not only failed to deliver a coup de grace to her head, but dragged her into a thatched hut to burn her alive. As the flames raged, the deeply comatose Sayang began to stir. Cruelly, however, the grandmother, shot in the head, perished at the hands of the villains. This meant that Sayang, orphaned since childhood, had now lost the last person in the world who loved her unconditionally. Yet despite this devastating blow, Sayang shockingly chose not to report the crime. She knew all too well that local laws would only sentence the killers to 3 years in prison, where they'd live comfortably before returning to their criminal ways upon release. Thus, her grandmother's murderers would not only escape proper punishment, but also find safe haven from retribution behind bars. Moreover, her grandmother had been killed in the most brutal manner simply for trying to stop their forced land seizure. Thus, Sayang made a bold decision. She would make all the killers pay the most painful price in her own way. The driver, unaware of the impending doom, remained oblivious to the approaching Grim Reaper. Seeing the weapons in the car blown to smithereens, the 4 killers finally grasped the gravity of the situation. More deadly still, if Sayang escaped and exposed their murder of the elderly woman, utter destruction awaited them. Yet by midnight, they still hadn't found Sayang's trail. For nearby, a pair of eyes had been silently watching their every move. What they never imagined was that Sayang, raised here since childhood, not only knew the terrain like the back of her hand, but had also been trained by her tribe since infancy to be a hunting machine. So if any one of them strayed alone, Sayang would seize the chance for brutal revenge. Even if one of them quietly drew a sharp steel blade, she could overpower him with her formidable skills and turn the tables. Seeing their comrade's femoral artery severed, the group fell speechless with terror. Without medical intervention, such an injury would force the killer to endure the ultimate agony of slow, agonizing death. Yet just as Sayang gloated over her success, she suddenly realized the sheer precipice looming ahead. To their astonishment, the resilient Sayang not only survived, but clung to a driftwood log fueled by her fierce vengeance. Yet the raging river still battered her arm, and by the time she scrambled ashore, her shoulder had dislocated. Slowly kneeling on the ground, she aligned her arm with a nearby rock. Seeing her utterly wretched state, Sayang could no longer contain the rage boiling within her. Even if it cost her life, she would make every murderer pay with their blood.